I got a free Sacred Shard in the first 24 hours of me playing Raid Shadow Legends. We're going to open that right now. Hello, everybody. I'm Roadblock, and this is a Raid Shadow Legends video. So, it's not in the portal right now, but I did get a Sacred Shard in my first 24 hours. So this is hard difficulty. You see it right here below my head. And then you can see all the way over the right here, we have a ability to collect a Sacred Shard. Why do we have that? Well, because I 3-starred every single difficulty up to this point. I literally just did it and then I hit record. Listen up, I just got a new promo link that you can use to follow along with me on my latest free-to-play adventure and get a free Elenaril as well as 3 more powerful epics as you level up. Here's how to do it. Log out of Plarium Play and uninstall. Click the link in the description and register with a brand new email. Launch Raid and complete the tutorial. Go to your inbox and claim your first champ. Don't miss out on your chance to get Elenaril right after signing up, as well as Fayne, Uugo, and Tagoar as you progress through Raid. Click on my link right now and let's crush this together. A lot of you are going to be like, what? How? I'll show you how. Pretty simple, right? I've got Kale, and I've got Sun Wukong. So for anybody, any of you that don't use my download link and get all the really sweet epics and the Elenaril, right? You can still do this just with Kale and a promo code. The secret is that you need to ascend Sun Wukong to 3 stars. And I only had to do that for the back half of the campaign. If you've ever done the campaign, you'll know that it's pretty easy up until... Godfrey's was really easy this time because I had a Spirit Affinity. So really, Hollowed Halls and Brimstone Path, really, it takes a jump in difficulty. But in order to beat the boss of Godfrey's Crossing, I had to actually ascend my Sun Wukong to level 3. Why did I do that? Because his special ability to revive every turn is unlocked at Ascension level 3. You're also going to notice Kale is 50. So I have 2 level 50s right now. I don't have any way of ranking any of them up at the moment. But look at what I was able to accomplish with 2 level 50s, right? I got all the way through hard and I got a Sacred Shard in the first 24 hours. Did I play the game all day? Yeah, you could say that. But I was doing other things. Now, granted, I have the luxury of having a second monitor, right? So I was watching Lord of the Rings. I watched the first 2 movies and I just was doing things in Raid Shadow Legends, you know, and that's just kind of me, right? That's how I function. Are you going to be able to do the exact same thing and get your first Sacred Shard in 24 hours? I doubt it. And I say 24 hours because it's even way faster than that. You can see 12 hours here. I'm pretty sure this was a 24-hour counter. So I don't know exactly how long I've been in, but I do know that I got it in my first 24 hours because this timer is still going. And what does that timer say? 2x chance of legendary champions. So what does that mean? That means that I've got a 12% chance at pulling a legendary out of this bad boy, which is pretty good odds, right? For a Sacred Shard, let's be clear. Now, there may be the argument, well, Roadblock, why don't you save that Sacred Shard for a fusion or something? And normally I would do that, but the reality is that I'm not going to generate enough Sacred Shards for the upcoming fusion. I'm looking further ahead, and the value that's in that Sacred Shard right now is more important to me than anything else. So I am going to pull that Sacred Shard and see what we can get because it's during a 2x. And if you're doing a free-to-play account, especially in the early goings of your account, I would pull on every 2x that you can. Okay, it's just going to help your account, help your chances of getting a good legendary that's going to make the difference. Now, I could pull a bad legendary out of that, right? We all know that could happen. I could, or more likely, I'm going to get a bad epic. That can happen as well. But it's still my best opportunity and the best time at this point on my account to spend my Sacred Shards. If I save it and guarantee a fusion later, like 2 fusions away, that's okay too. Both sides are correct, right? There's really no right or wrong answer. Me, I want to have fun. I'm going to pull now. Is it less efficient? Yeah, probably. But I'm going to pull now. And with a 12% chance that I just blow this account out of the water, right? So that's, you know, it's how you utilize your resources. But before we get into that, I'm going to make you sit through a video, and I apologize. Feel free to skip ahead. But you can see here we're at 1,280 points. This is actually a big deal because we need to be at 1,500 to collect any of these, and I am so close. How did we get there? Well, we did complete a couple of the easier quests that are behind my head here, but also I've got a ton of extra energy. Whenever I needed to leave the computer, I went upstairs for dinner, right? I took a shower, used the restroom, went and spent time with my family, whatever the case may have been. I was running Fire Knight. You can see I completed this 10, can you see it? Yeah, 10 times, and I earned 150 points. Now that's double, so that's going to be 300 points, right? And then I got 75 over here, and I got 45 points over here. So generating a lot of points through that. And of course, the quests give a large bonus. I don't know that I'll be able to complete too many of these other ones, except maybe upgrading accessories and or artifacts, but I don't quite have the silver for that. So you'll see I'm at 264k silver, with one caveat that I have an inventory full of junk. So all of this is silver that's kind of sitting on the back burner, just waiting. Why am I keeping it? Because there are challenges and missions that I may want that gear for. Currently, we are on a mission to do 500,000 damage to the Demon Lord. I already know with great confidence I can do that on easy difficulty. I'm not 100% sure I can do that on normal difficulty. Let's talk clan real quick, since I just kind of showed you guys. I am in a random clan for now. I want to continue to develop the account and grow my value and keep looking for a better clan. But for now, I am in a random clan. I'm not cheating this time, guys, right? I'm not going to join my clan and get super boosted rewards. I want to be very clear that this is something that you can do, right? It's going to take some grinding. It's going to take some effort. So let's say that you can't spend your whole Sunday playing Raid Shadow Legends all day. A lot of us can't. That's totally fine, right? You're still going to get that Sacred Shard. You just won't get it in that first 24 hours. But now you know it's possible. We could take a look at the gear real quick on Kale and Sun Wukong. So as you can see, I do have some gear that I shouldn't be leveling to 16. Why did I do that? Because I saw how effective Kale and Wukong were at the campaign, and I knew I could get that Sacred Shard. So if you're not going to be able to get that Sacred Shard, I wouldn't make this same mistake. I wouldn't prioritize this stuff, but I wanted that Sacred Shard. So I'm leveling 6 to 16 stuff that should never be leveled. But I know I'm going to make the silver back. Silver's a lot easier to come by these days since we don't have the gear penalties that we've had in the past. So I'm not worried about silver so much. And then just a recap from things that we talked about in the last video. I did collect all of the Arbiter stuff. If you want to be super efficient, wait to grab that stuff until you need the energy or the silver or the resources from it. I grabbed it all because I knew I was going to be playing all day, and I still have a ton of energy left over. I can't get rid of it because there's just so much energy, and I keep leveling, and every level is more energy, and then I get energy from completing this part and that part. Mission wise, I am almost done part 1, and you can see my gem count. I'm already high enough to buy my first masteries, but I don't know who my first 60 is going to be yet. And really, it makes the most sense for those first masteries to be on a 6-star. And we just they just reset arena, so we get a little bit of gear. What's this? Oh, flat defense. A 5-star piece would have been really solid there, but flat, and yeah, 3-star piece isn't that great. So we did, since we're here, bronze 3 was where we hit, and I'm basically just waiting until they tell me, hey, do some arena, right? That's basically, and then I'm like, okay, cool, they want me to do arena, and I do it. So I'll probably knock the rest of this stuff out this evening. Like, as soon as I'm done, we'll complete part 2 and probably wrap it up. But there's not like a monstrous reward at the end of part 2, right? There's no, I thought about maybe trying to get to this Sacred Shard in 24 hours, and I do feel like it would be very difficult and I'm not trying to go that hard. So we are level 29, which is really, really good. The forge is about to come open. I haven't done anything in Faction Wars yet, so I will need to do some stuff in Faction Wars so I can forge some gear. We're first place in the tournament, which is pretty good, by a pretty big milestone, but remember, people can catch up. The big lead that I have there is from doing all those campaign difficulties. Yeah, that's pretty much everything going on the account. As far as skills, I've upgraded Kale a couple of times. I haven't done anything with my epics, and obviously nothing with my legendaries. Kind of the biggest chunk of time was getting the potions, and you can kind of see, like, there's not a lot that I have left because I had to use pretty much every piece, but it was worth it because of how Sun Wukong functions. So I'm going to show you guys stage 7. This would be probably... There's going to be 2 really hard stages, stage 7 of Brimstone and stage 7 of Hallowed Halls. I do recommend manualing these fights and trying to save your cooldowns if you can. But a big part of it also was getting 5-star Ascension on Kale, and I was lucky enough to get a piece of gear for Kale that's very good and probably going to stay on him until I no longer am using Kale. So that's awesome. Crit damage, 5-star amulet. That's probably Kale's amulet for the rest of the game, or until I get a better Dark Elf. So, Brimstone Path, stage 7. I'll do it on auto here, and you can just kind of see how it works. Pretty simple through that wave. This wave, not so good, right? That's actually bad when we see the polymorph because I didn't do any damage with one of my biggest hitters. And while the private chat thing is in the way, you can see the HP of Wukong is getting a little bit low. And there he dies, right? But look at Kale's HP. He's solid right now, right? And by the way, it only took me 1 try, but it would likely, if that happens, it's going to take you multiple tries. But you can understand the premise. If I didn't proc Peril, which, by the way, what is the proc chance on Peril? A 10% chance. I procced it twice. Obviously, you know I didn't proc it the first time I did that because I have the Sacred Shard in my inventory. But you guys get the idea, right? You can really benefit from that. And so if I go back to the gear, I do have a Lifesteal set that I got, and we'll talk about where I got that from in a second, on Kale. And pretty much just kind of my best gear, trying to maximize my damage as much as I can. But lifesteal is on Kale to stay alive because Sun Wukong doesn't need it. Sun Wukong is going to get revived. So this is my best attack chest. These are my best crit rate gloves at the moment, right? I don't have 4-star gear. It's day 1. And my best speed boots, outside of, I think, a 4-star pair that might be on somebody else. I got the Cruel set from campaign, and this helmet came from the Ezio stuff. So, doing really well, right? Stats are awful. We have 71% crit rate, though, because of those gloves. Cool. Only 1,900 attack, right? Like, this is just ridiculous. But we're able to accomplish what we're trying to accomplish, and that's the important part. The other thing is the pass. The apprentice pass did pop up for me. I think that was in the video. You can see I've already made a ton of progress because I've completed so many of these challenges. My daily challenges got knocked out almost immediately. And you can see I can 2 more upgrades on Kale, more rewards. I could level all of Kale's gear to 16, more rewards. So these ones are going to take much longer to get. But if I was to get these 30 points, let's see, so 15, 25. So I would get up to here. Not quite going to get the gear reward, which is more what I would want. So overall, not worth it for me to push those challenges right now. But I did put a huge dent by completing those challenges. And I think I mentioned challenges. You can see I'm 3 of 5, 7 of 10. This one's a big one, and I want to take some time to talk about this. And I'm sorry for drawing out the video, but I'm not trying to. This is actually really, really important. Doing all of the normal artifact challenges before moving on to any other difficulty. So, and the great thing is now you have super raids. So I was able to run stage 1 a bunch of times until I got a 3-star piece with attack percent, or whatever, not attack percent, but you guys get what I'm saying, right? That would have been stage 4, 5, and 6. Yeah. Now, these ones are from clearing stage 4 on hard or higher. So I can do these on brutal now, which is where I'm going to get more XP for my investment. So I did run a ton of campaign, but we got to this point, and this is a really good point to get to. So now I just need to do a bunch of Karak Castle on brutal, which is going to be very easy because if you can do hard stage 13, is it 13? Yeah, if you can do, 12. If you can do 12 on hard, you can do stage 1. You could probably do stage 1 through 6 on brutal. Maybe not the bosses. You may not be able to 3-star the bosses, but I feel confident that you could 3-star your way all the way up to the Palace of Aravia, which is where I hope to be. Brutal stage 6 and farming on stage 6 on brutal in hopes of getting some 4-star speed boots or higher. So those are my plans, and that's kind of how we got there, doing all of these challenges as we go and just capitalizing on those as much as I can. Really happy overall with the way everything's going on the account. Nothing crazy in the champion list other than Pathfinder Kate, who I find to be very intriguing because we do have, albeit a very low chance, increasing the cooldown on an AoE hit, which could be pretty effective if I need that, right? I have my decreased defense champion. I have my nuker. I'll probably bring 2. And then this is currently my best increased attack champion. I hope to get Spirit Host soon. But in the meantime, War Priest is what I have. So I'm not taking Arena too seriously at the moment. I kind of do need to because these are going to run out and I don't want to waste them. But overall, I'm happy with my progress in Arena. I lose a couple battles every now and then, but for the most part, I'm winning pretty consistently. I thought there was a way to find out my record, but that might only be in live Arena. Moving on to the part that you've all been waiting for, the Sacred Shard. And here we go. What do we got, baby? What do we got? Epic. Grunge Killjoy. I don't need a single target block buffs. I don't need bombs. That's good. Is this guy Sleepy good? Like, a full cleanse with continuous heals, replacing what he removes. And a small amount of turn meter when bombs go off, but I only place 1 bomb, so it's counterintuitive. So I'm not going to count on that at all. But a full team cleanse, that could be sneaky good, I feel like. Honestly, I actually feel like that might come in handy for certain fights. Not like this isn't somebody that I'm going to go crazy with, but I do value that cleanse quite a bit. Even at 6 turns, that could be pretty effective for Doom Tower stuff, some wave stuff. I'm not mad at it. Obviously, a legendary would have been crazy there, but I am not mad at that pull. Are there better epics out there? Absolutely. But I will take the one that I got and be grateful for the epic that I got. So we'll wrap that up. We will call that a video. This was recorded on the same day as my last video, and I don't know my release schedule just yet. So sorry if you guys had to wait a while to see this one. But yeah, overall, very happy with the progress on my free-to-play after my first day. And you guys get to see that right now. And I'm just going to keep at it. So thank you all so much for watching. If you're new here and you want to be a part of this free-to-play experience, please consider subscribing, right? It is the best way for you to know when these new videos come out so you don't miss an episode. And most importantly, at least for me, it's a great way to support the channel. Helps open me up to other content creator-ish thingies. So, you know how that goes. But just consider, that's all I ever ask. And I hope to see you all in the next video. Take care.